Hi, today we shall be developing the linear regression model using Excel. So in this tutorial, we are going to show you how to use the tool analysis in Excel in order to run linear regression. So we took an example of the impact of some macroeconomic variable on the GDP growth. GDP, which stands for growth domestic product. So we are going to analyze the impact of general government final consumption expenditure, gross fixed capital formation for private sector, as well as general government investment, impact on the gross domestic product growth. So to run linear regression using Excel, you just need to data, go in data. So use data analysis. So if data analysis is not activated in your Excel file, that tool is not systematically activated in Excel file. You just need to go on File. When you are on File, go to Options. When you are on Options, you just need to go to Adds Ins. So when you are in Adds In, you just need to click on Go, and select Analysis Toolbar. So if I deselect Analysis toolbar, this data analysis tool will disappear in my Excel. So I just activated analysis toolbar so that I can use a data analysis tool in order to run my linear regression as well as other analysis in Excel. So just click on analysis, data and data analysis, and select So when you are on data, when you click on data analysis, you need to select regression. So you select regression and then you click on OK. First step is to select the dependent variable. That is Y variable. So you click on the arrow and select your dependent variable. My dependent variable here is GDP growth. So I select the variable GDP growth and come back in my interface and select the input, the independent variables. So I click on my arrow and select all my three independent variables that are government final consumption expenditure, gross fixed capital formation, and general government investment. So then I click on the arrow back on my interface, and I can select to plot residuals. I can plot normal probability plots that can define a constant to be 0. So I will not select this. I can select the confidence level of 95% in my variable. So I should also select label in order to take into consideration the the label of my variable. So then I click on OK, and the result of my linear regression are there. Here we have the multiple R, we have the R square, and the adjusted R square of our regression. So our R square is close to 60% can mean that our three variable can explain 60% of our model. fluctuation. So we have the result of our estimation. We have intercept here. We have intercept coefficient. We have the coefficient of general government final consumption expenditure. We have coefficient of gross fixed capital formation, which is positive, and negative for general government final consumption. We have general government investment in percentage of GDP. All independent variable are in percentage of the GDP. So we have the p-value here. So all variable except the general government investment are significant. So general government investment final consumption expenditure have a p-value which is less than 5%, which means that general government final consumption significantly influence economic growth, and the influence is negative. So general government investment influence negatively on GDP growth, and the coefficient of 2.15 mean that when a general government in consumption expenditure increase by a unit, the GDP growth decrease by 2 units. So government should try to set a consumption final consumption expenditure at the level so that they cannot affect the economic growth. So the variable gross fixed capital formation for private sector influence significantly, because the p-value here is 0.0000121, which is less than 5%, meaning that gross fixed capital formation for private sector, which is investment in private sector, influence significantly and positively on the economic growth. So to increase the economic growth, government should encourage private investment. So the coefficient of 0.83 mean that when a gross fixed capital formation for private sector increase by 1 unit, the GDP should increase by 0.03 unit. So all variable are in percentage of GDP. You should keep that in mind. So general government investment didn't influence significantly on the economic growth, because the p-value here 0.203 is more than 5%, meaning that the influence of general government investment is not statistically significant in our model. So the coefficient is positive, so general government influence positively, but the level of significance is not higher. So we have here interval level, lower and upper at 95% level. So we also have element that like residual plot of our model. So the only explanation I just gave you here is what we can interpret linear regression. So I will end here for today, and in the next tutorial I will show you how to really look at residual and other analysis in linear regression using Excel.